Module 2 Documentary Procedures and Advanced Broadcast Practices. 1. Introduction, from newsroom to documentary room. In the newsroom, we work to report events as they happen, often in short, punchy bursts. But in documentary production, we have the luxury and the challenge of time. While a news bulletin might give you 3 minutes to explain a flood crisis, a documentary might give you an entire hour to explore the history of flooding in a region, the human impact, the science of prevention, and personal stories. This difference doesn't mean news and documentaries are separate worlds. In fact, many great documentaries begin as news stories. Example. In 2010, news outlets covered the Deepwater Horizon oil spill with daily updates. Later, the event became the subject of full-length documentaries like The Great Invisible, which explored corporate negligence, environmental damage, and survivor stories. The shift from news to documentary is essentially a shift from quick facts to deep exploration. 2. The purpose and power of documentaries. Documentaries serve different purposes than standard broadcast. Investigative, digging deeper into hidden truths. Example, Netflix's The Social Dilemma investigated the psychological and societal effects of social media algorithms. Explanatory, breaking down complex issues, like Inside Job explaining the 2008 financial crisis. Observational, letting the audience experience events as they happen, such as the BBC's Blue Planet series. Advocacy, presenting arguments for change, as seen in An Inconvenient Truth on Climate Change. Where a broadcast might aim to inform you tonight, a documentary often aims to change your perspective for years. 3. Pre-production, planning the documentary. Before a single frame is shot, a producer or director spends weeks, sometimes months, in pre-production. Steps in pre-production. Concept development, defining the central question. News style, there was a protest in the capital today. Documentary style, why have street protests increased in the capital over the last decade? Research, gathering both primary and secondary sources. Real-world example, for the BBC's Panorama investigations, producers dig through court records, leaked documents, and past news footage before shooting begins. Budgeting and scheduling, determining travel, crew size, and time needed for interviews and location shooting. Permissions and access, many great documentary ideas fail because access is denied. If you're filming in a refugee camp, you might need both government permits and NGO approval. Storyboarding, not every shot will be pre-planned, but mapping out the major beats helps guide filming. 4. Scripting in documentary production. While news scripts are written before broadcast and must be tight, documentary scripts evolve throughout production. In the early stage, you might write a script outline, major points you plan to cover. During filming, you adjust based on interviews and events. After shooting, you write the final narration script to weave together the visuals, interviews, and archival footage. Example. In The Making of 13th by Ava DuVernay, the original concept focused broadly on U.S. mass incarceration. But as filming progressed, interviews with activists and historians uncovered fresh angles, the role of private prisons, which then reshaped the final narrative. 5. Filming techniques. News crews often use fast setups, while documentary crews may return to a location multiple times, filming in different conditions. Common documentary filming methods. Interviews, either formal sit-down style or informal conversations. B-roll, supplemental footage that visually supports the story, street scenes, workplaces, nature shots. Archival footage, old news clips, photographs, letters. Observational shots, fly-on-the-wall moments with no narration, letting the scene speak. Example. In Hoop Dreams, the filmmakers followed 2 basketball players for 5 years, using thousands of hours of observational footage to tell a deeply personal story. 6. Ethics in documentary and broadcast. Both news and documentaries share ethical obligations. Accuracy, facts must be verified. Fairness, represent all relevant viewpoints. Consent, subjects must understand how their footage will be used. Non-manipulation, editing should not distort reality. Real case. A documentary crew once faced backlash for staging a scene of children playing in rubble for visual effect. It damaged credibility permanently. In ethical practice, you capture reality, you don't fabricate it. 7. Editing, where the story is built. Editing in documentaries is often more complex than in news. A TV news package might have 10 to 15 shots, a documentary may have hundreds. Editing goals. Maintain narrative flow. Balance visuals, interviews, and narration. Use pacing to control emotion, slow sequences for reflection, fast cuts for tension. Example. In Free Solo, the pacing of the climb sequence was slowed down with lingering close-ups, creating suspense even though viewers knew the climber succeeded. 8. Sound and music. Sound design is critical. In news, natural sound from the scene often suffices. In documentaries, sound can set tone, soft piano for reflective moments. Build tension, drums or silence before a reveal. Support authenticity, background market chatter, city noise. Example. Ken Burns' The Vietnam War used a combination of archival sound recordings and modern scoring to create an immersive experience. 9. Broadcasting documentaries. Once complete, a documentary can air on television networks, BBC, PBS, Al Jazeera. Streaming platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime. Film festivals, Sundance, Tribeca. Online channels, YouTube, Vimeo. Distribution decisions affect audience reach. A Netflix release may reach a global audience instantly. Impact. A festival premiere might generate critical buzz before a wider release. 10. Convergence. Merging news and documentary practices. Modern media often blends the two. News programs produce mini-docs for social media, 5 to 10-minute deep dives. Documentaries integrate newsroom footage for historical context. Example. Al Jazeera's Fault Lines series is essentially investigative journalism in long-form video. 11. Real-world case study, from headline to documentary. Let's walk through a hypothetical. Day 1, News. A breaking report of illegal fishing in West African waters appears on BBC Africa. Day 7, follow-up feature. Reporters travel to coastal towns, interview local fishermen, gather short video packages for the evening news. Months later, documentary. The same team collaborates with environmental filmmakers to produce The Stolen Catch, a 60-minute film exploring the economic, ecological, and political dimensions, with hidden camera footage from trawlers. 12. Skills for the modern producer. To succeed in both news and documentary work, you need story sense, knowing what matters to audiences. Technical skill, shooting, sound recording, and editing. Research ability, digging deeper than press releases. Cultural sensitivity, understanding local customs and perspectives. 13. The future of broadcast and documentary. Trends include interactive documentaries, allowing viewers to choose story paths. 360 degrees video and VR, immersive experiences of conflict zones or cultural events. Data-driven storytelling, combining visual journalism with in-depth statistical analysis. Example. The New York Times VR documentary The Displaced put viewers into the lives of refugee children, using immersive vid-shared mission. Whether in the tight deadlines of a newsroom or the long arc of documentary filmmaking, the mission remains the same. Find the truth. Tell it clearly. Connect with the audience in a way they remember. Great producers can move between both worlds, capturing the urgency of the moment while also exploring the depth of the human experience.